Okay, let's see how you can push me out of the bed. Taeyoung's intense gaze holds mine, his voice low and gravelly. Taeyung, you don't know the true extent of my power. But I'll show you, and when I do, you'll tremble before me. Do whatever you want. I'm not afraid of you. Taehynh. Get off. His jaw clenches, and he lunges across the bed, his arms wrapping around her waist as he tries to lift her off. Despite his disability, his strength is evident. His face is close to hers, his breath hot against her face. But she is not a girl to give up easily. She holds the headboard of the bed tightly, so that he could not push her. You cannot push me. He grunts, trying to pry her fingers off the headboard. His bare chest presses against her back, his legs tangling with hers as he tries to dislodge her. Taeyoung, let go, woman. Taeyoung's breathing becomes ragged, his body tensing as he strains against her. No, she said, not wanting to lose against him. Taeyoung, no, he lets out a growl, and with one last burst of strength, he flips her onto her back, pinning her beneath him. His face is inches from hers, his eyes blazing with fury. You will leave my bed, now. Leave my hand, leave. She was struggling to free her hand with she was holding the headboard, which is now in his. He narrows his eyes, his hand still gripping the headboard above her head. His body is tense, and he's breathing heavily. She can feel the anger radiating off of him. Taeyoung, do you want me to throw you out of this room? Do you want me to tell everything to your dad? That what are you doing to me? She said, throwing back his words to him. His face darkens, his expression thunderous. He leans down, his face close to hers. Taeyoung, you think threatening to tell my father will make me back down? You have no idea what I'm capable of. His voice drops to a menacing whisper. Go ahead, tell him. I dare you. No, I know if I leave this room now, then you'll not let me in. He smirks, his face still close to hers. Taeyoung, exactly. You're trapped now, and you will sleep on the floor. He begins to move off her, but pauses, his face contorting. Unless. His voice trails off, his eyes roaming her face. She looked at him, hear the uncomplicated sentence, as he begin. Taeyoung, unless. You make me a deal. He shifts his weight, settling between her legs. His voice drops to a low rumble. Spend the night pleasing me, and I'll let you stay in the bed. Pleasing you. He leans down, his breath hot against her ear. Taeyoung, if you fail, you'll sleep on the cold hard floor, and every night after that too. He pulls back, his eyes challenging. Do we have a deal? What do you mean? What do I have to do? His expression hardens, his eyes glinting with a cold light. Taeyoung, I mean you will use your hands, your mouth, your body to pleasure me. All night long, and if you succeed, I'll let you stay in the bed. Her jaw dropped on floor, like her ears will bleed now. How shameless this man. She thought. You shameless man, zip your mouth. He laughs, the sound low and husky. Taeyoung, shame is for the weak, and I'm far from weak. Now, are you going to make our deal, or do you need to be reminded of the consequences? He pulls out his phone, his finger hovering over the screen as if to call someone. She peeked a little to see what he is doing on phone. He felt her warm breath near his hand and understood that she is peeking on his phone and grins wickedly, tilting the screen so she can see. Calling his bodyguard, telling them to barricade the door to prevent her from leaving. Tae-young, satisfied, he put his veneer knit stand, his hand snaking around waist. Why did you do that? He leans down, his breath hot against her neck. Tae-young, because I don't want you running away before. You've fulfilled your end of the bargain. His hands slide up her sides, his thumbs brushing the undersides of her neck. Now answer my question, deal or no deal. You cannot do this to me. I'm too young for you. Tae-young. How old are you? He said, raising his eyebrows a little. I'm 22, and you're 28. He chuckles darkly, his hands continuing their slow caress. Tae-young, too young, huh? His fingers trace patterns on her skin, his touch gentle yet firm. Age is just a number. Baby girl. And you're old enough to know what you're getting into. She bites her lower lip, finding no words. He smirks, hearing no response from her. Now let's get comfortable, shall we? He sits up from laying position and tried to make her sit by holding her shoulder, but hey, no, she again hold the headboard. He grins mischievously, his eyes glinting with a dangerous light. Tae-young, oh, you think you can resist? Well, let's see. How long you can hold out. I love a challenge, he said slowly. Slipping his hand under her waist. I'll not leave the bed today. She tightened the hold on headboard, ensuring that he couldn't pull her this time. She was struggling to hold it tight more, and he was rug ling to pull her hands from the headboard. It's getting difficult for her as he is too strong. Both were too into their fight that they didn't notice there is storm going on this bed. He already pulled her one hand by now, there is only two fingers left of her right hand to pull. But their movement stopped when they heard a creak sound. He freezes, his eyes widening in alarm as he hears the creaking sound. What the? His expression turning serious, he gently tries to pull her hands from the headboard, his movements cautious. Then boom the bed collapsed on the floor. His body landed on her, she screamed. Both were shocked. Shit, he mutters under breath, then slowly got up from the broken bed on the floor. She got up, as well, then heard him shouting, what did you do? What did I do? His voice low and menacing. Tae-young, now we're stuck here, with no bed and a broken headboard. He runs a hand through his hair, his frustration evident. This is all your fault. That's not my fault. You are the one who was pulling me. It wouldn't have happened if you let me sleep on bed. He frustratingly said. Now what do we do now? She was silent, not knowing what to do. His frustration boiling over. Tae-young, don't just sit there, say something. He snaps, his voice cold. We can't stay here. Not like this. He gestures to the broken bed, his face contorted with anger. How do I know? This is my first day in this house. You should find something for us. He sighs, running a hand through his hair. He walks out of the room. Where did he go, leaving me here alone? What will I do now with this broken bed? She said, being sad. Closing parenthesis. A few moments later, Tae-young returns. He starts to picking a pillow and blanket. Where are you going? Asked, being curious. Tae-young. Another room, he shortly replied, his expression cold. For sleep. Tae-young, no, I'm going to another room to dance. She knitted her brows. He started to walk away, leaving the Dot room, holding a pillow and blanket. She said in hurry, "Why, N, wait, take me with you." He hesitates, his grip tightening on the pillow and blanket. "No, you'll just cause more trouble." He starts to leave again as she rushed towards him and hold his arm. "Why, and no, I'll not cause any trouble. See how I'll stay here, please, take me with you. I'll just sleep beside you and nothing else," she said in sad voice so that he can understand a little. And surprisingly it worked. He turns his head to her side for a moment, considering her words. "Tae-young, fine," he says gruffly, "but if you so much as move an inch, I'll kick you out. Got it?" "YN, yes," she nodded like a child, not wanting to make him more angry. Though he cannot see, he can guess her expression. "Take YUNG, come behind me," in a commanding voice, and starts walking with his big steps. She followed him like a lost puppy who follows his owner after coming back home. They didn't talk any more after reaching to another room, as both slept on bed, keeping a huge distance from each other.